can feel. And I tried my best to hold you down, but you wouldn't be still. So I guess I'm left to be the one with the rest of me. Cause you took the best of me without even asking me. I can't fool myself.
I've tried to film this intro for like 5 minutes now, and if I don't get it right this time, I'm done trying to film this video. I'm going to sleep. Nah. But hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn your post notifications on. And if you're not new, then welcome back to another video. I'm a little hyper right now, but I have so much energy right now. Anyways, it is 4 o'clock in the morning. Yes, you heard that right. Look at this. It is 4:13 in the morning. I don't know what I'm doing up, but here I am. Alright, so as you can see from the title, I'm going to be doing a labor and delivery story time. And I know you're wondering, like, girl, you are 5 months late. Like, what is going through your head? I know y'all, I'm super late. But anyways, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I got too much energy right now. But anyways, so it all started on my 39 weeks prenatal visit. So basically, I don't know if I said it in that vlog, because I did record when I went to the appointment. But anyways, when I went to go get checked to see how many centimeters I was dilated, I was only 1 centimeter dilated, and which had my doctor like a little bit worried and concerned, because I was only 1 centimeter dilated and I was almost due. So like, she thought that I was gonna have to like get induced or whatever. Like, she had told me that to keep on walking and bouncing on a yoga ball. So yeah, that's what I did. But basically, if Janessa didn't come 1 week after her due date, which was December 5th, I was gonna have to be induced December 12th, which didn't have to happen, thankfully. But yeah, that was what was gonna have to happen. So moving on to where it really went down. Where it really went down was December 4th. But anyways, it all started December 4th around 3 or 4 o'clock. 3 or 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'm not sure. But at that time, me and my mom would take care, like we would babysit my nephew while my brother-in-law went to boxing. So I remember when he came to drop him off and I was like closing the door because he was leaving, I just felt something warm go down my legs, and like I was like, what the hell? Like, I thought I peed myself, to be honest. At that stage right there, like, I would like pee, not even gonna lie y'all. I would pee a little bit, like when I would laugh or like sit down or something, because the baby was obviously right there on my freaking bladder. But I thought it was pee, so I just closed the door. But either way, I went to the bathroom to check what it was. I was wearing a robe, so I just lifted my robe up. I like checked what it was. It was just clear. It was clear, and I was like, oh, so I didn't pee myself. To be honest, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was my water or not. It was not my water, by the way. But basically what it was, I didn't know until the doctor told me when I went to go get checked. But basically, when you're close to giving birth, your discharge changes to like clear. But basically, yeah, that's what went down. That's what went down my legs or whatever. So I don't know why I thought that when your water breaks, just a gush of water comes out. Like, that's what I was expecting as my water like to break, you get me? Like, I knew that my water broke if I just felt a gush of water come down. Like, I know you're like, girl, you're hella slow, what the hell? But that's what I thought. I didn't know that your water could break little by little. So after I felt that liquid come down, I went back to my room and I started bouncing on a yoga ball to see if more would come out. So nothing more came out. After that, I didn't tell my mom or nothing, because I didn't know if it was my discharge or not. So I didn't tell my mom, and also I didn't say anything because I wasn't feeling contractions. I was just feeling Braxton Hicks contractions, which I had already got those like when I was 30 something weeks already, so I knew those weren't my contractions. But yeah, I didn't say anything. I went on with my day. Later on, around 11 o'clock, like 11 in that, yeah, 11 o'clock in the night, I just felt more of that come out, and you see that in my vlog, but I just felt more of that come out. I went to the bathroom and I seen it was just more. I didn't say nothing because again, I wasn't feeling contractions, and I just I didn't know if it was my water or not. So basically, yeah, we went on, I mean, the rest of my night like that. I didn't say nothing, and I just slept through the night. I didn't have contractions, nothing was going on, so I didn't say nothing. So then it came to December 5th was Janessa's due date. So that day, I remember in the morning I woke up and I was just getting more of that discharge, that liquid or whatever. And at this point I was just like, let me just tell my mom, because I don't think this is normal. I didn't know what it was. Okay, I was like, probably it is my water, I should just tell her, you know. So I told my mom. Again, I wasn't feeling contractions or nothing. I told my mom, and she was like, okay, well, you know, let's not take nothing, let's just go walk to the park, and let me call, you know, your sister so she could come with us, because my sister wanted to be there when I gave birth. So she didn't go to work that day, she missed work, and we went to go walk around the park. We called her, my mom called her, told her, my sister came to the house. We went to the walk to the park. We went for like 2 rounds, and I was already tired, so I like said like, let's go. As soon as I was gonna get in the car, I just started getting more. We were gonna go to the hospital either way, but I was just like, yeah, we should go to the hospital now, because I don't know what this is. Like, what if it is my water, you know? We went to the hospital, they registered me. My sister went in with me. Yeah, my sister went in with me to get checked. My mom stayed out there with me. Only one person could go in there when you get checked, so my sister went in there with me, because my mom, she like gets nervous when it comes down to those things. So my sister went in there with me. Yeah, we just registered. They made me change into a gown, they made me pee in a cup. Yeah, they put me in this room where they check if your water broke, and they like see how many centimeters are dilated. They hooked me up to an ultrasound monitor or whatever, and I was having contractions, but I couldn't feel them. Like on the monitor it showed that I was having contractions, but I didn't feel them. So yeah, they weren't strong or whatever. And then they checked if the water had broke, and it's so uncomfortable when they do that, because they put like this little thing, and it's just so uncomfortable. It's not little, or it's not like really that big, but I don't know what it's called, to be honest, but it's like feels so weird and so uncomfortable. So they checked my water, if my water had broke, and my water didn't break. It was in my water. That's when she told me that it was my discharge, but I was still 1 centimeter dilated, and she just told me that to keep walking, keep bouncing on a yoga ball, and I was gonna come back on the weekend, which that did happen. And so we went back home. I went on with my day. I was bouncing on that yoga ball, I remember, all day and stuff. I would get on there like every 10 minutes. I don't know like what time, but I remember I would get on it. And then later on that night, like around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, I remember, I was on the couch. My family was over here, and I just started feeling contractions. Like they were strong, like they hurt, but like I could handle them, you get me? And they weren't 5 minutes apart, so they only told me to go if my contractions were 5 minutes apart or if my water had broke. So I was counting them on this app, and they weren't 5 minutes apart. They were like super irregular. So yeah, but I could feel them now. I remember I was just on the couch, and like I was just like, I was closing my eyes, and like I was just like, man, like I'm ready to get this over with. Like I was not trying to have her inside of me no more. Them things hurt when I got them. Like they weren't that strong. Like I got stronger ones in the hospital, but like I could handle them, but they were strong. So yeah, we went on with my night like that, and I was just trying to sleep as much as I could so I wouldn't feel them. And then in the middle of the night I was waking up, and I was just like feeling more, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it got to the point where I couldn't like really sleep because I could feel them. So I went on like that with the whole night. I was still counting them. They were not 5 minutes apart, And then it came to the morning where I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna try to make myself go into labor. So I went to go take a hot bath to see if that would calm them down, and girl, yes, that did calm them down. Like I could feel them, but I couldn't really feel them. Like I just felt so relaxed in that bath. But I actually went in there because my back was hurting and like the contractions were hurting, so I didn't know that that helps you go into labor. But yeah, I took a bath and I was in there for like 10 minutes, and then I got out, and then I came and bounced on my yoga ball, and I was on there for 10 minutes too. And then I like went to go lay down, and then I just felt like a gush of water come out, and that's the gush of water I was waiting for. But it wasn't a lot, but it was like, you know, more than usual, more than the discharge or whatever. So I called my mom right away, and then she came, and I was like, I think this is my water, because I don't ever get this hasn't happened to me. Like the discharge, I don't get this much. Like I kind of knew it was my water, but I wasn't sure either. But yeah, so I told my mom, and then again my mom called my sister, and then we went to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and again my sister went in there with me because my mom doesn't like going, you know, like she would do it, but like my sister was there with me, you know, so she'd rather have my sister go in there with me. So my sister went in there with me. They did the same thing. They checked me and my water had broke, and I was 2 centimeters dilated. So somebody commented on my vlog that it was rare that they kept me because I was 2 centimeters dilated, but my water had broke, so they had to keep me. So yeah, it was my water that broke, and they had to keep me. So they again were looking at my contractions on the monitor. My contractions were very irregular. I did have to get induced to get my contractions, you know, stronger and frequently, so my labor could go faster. So yeah, basically they let my doctor know that my water had broke, and after that my sister let my mom know, and we got all our stuff. They moved us to a labor and delivery room. My mom came in the room now. It was my mom and my sister there, and you know, they started asking me random questions, you know, for my safety. They started doing blood work on me. They put the IV in me. I got started on Pitocin, which makes your contractions, you get more contractions and stronger ones. So yeah, I got started on that, and I don't remember, like a while later, everything's gonna sound like close in time, you know, together, but it was really not like that. Yeah, a while later I started feeling them a little bit more like stronger, and I was like, I want to get started, you know, on something. Like I knew I wanted to get the epidural, but they told me if I wanted to try the IV pain medication first. So I did get started on that, and that only lasts you 1 hour. So yeah, when they gave me that medicine, and I just remember I was sleepy, and you kind of feel like you feel high, you feel kind of drunk, not drunk, but like you feel high. And they gave me some of that. It like worked or whatever, but it only lasted 1 hour. So yeah, they gave me that medicine. Then my doctor came to break my water all the way. She noticed that Janessa had pooped, and it was like green or whatever. I guess it wasn't that bad, but if she pooped again, then we were gonna have to do a C-section, which, you know, I didn't care if I had to be getting a C-section, you know, as long as my baby came out healthy, and you know, as long as she came out, then that's all I cared about. I didn't really care about none of that, you know, getting a C-section, even though I know it's like worse and a lot of people don't want it. I don't care about that, as long as, you know, I had my baby here with me. That's all that mattered. Which she pooped because I was 40 weeks already, so she was supposed to be out already. It was the day after her due date, which was December 6th. So yeah, I went to labor. I don't know if I said this, but I went into labor like around 11 something. Yeah, 11 something. So, yeah, she came and broke my water all the way, and she told me if I wanted to get the epidural, and I knew I wanted to get the epidural, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to get it like at that moment. So my sister was telling me like you should get it so when you do get the stronger contractions you can't feel them, you know, you're gonna be numb and stuff. And my doctor was like, yeah, I recommend you to get it because you already can't take the contractions right now. So yeah, they were just telling me I should get it, and then my sister convinced me to get it. So they put me on the wait list or whatever for the guy to come to my room and do it, because the guy that was doing the epidural, there was only one person doing them and he was busy doing other people. And yeah, a while went by and the medicine wore off, so the epidural guy was still busy. So I did ask for the medicine again. I got it 2 times. Yeah, so I waited for the epidural for 2 hours, so that medicine did help me while I was waiting or whatever. But yeah, basically when he came to the room to do it, at this point like the contractions were so freaking more frequently, and they were stronger, but I could still take them or whatever. But just because I'm making it sound like they didn't hurt, girl, they hurt, okay? It just feels like tightening in your stomach. Like you're like, okay, I could take that, but no, it's a freaking it's a different type of pain. But yeah, so he came, they made everybody get out the room and they made me sit up. I was literally sitting like this on the side of the bed. They gave me a hairnet so that your hair won't be in the way, obviously. Okay, so I was already 4 centimeters dilated when he came to give me the epidural, because I believe you do gotta be like 4 centimeters dilated, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, I was already 4 centimeters dilated and he came. And yeah, they gave me the fishnet. They gave me the hairnet. I remember the nurse was just, you know, holding my shoulder right here. She gave me a pillow to squeeze when he put the needle in. And he was just telling me how the epidural works and what I was gonna expect right now and what I couldn't do, what I can do, and just a bunch of things. So I remember when he put the epidural, like the needle in, it didn't hurt. I don't know if I'm just, you know, used to needles so much and stuff, or like I could take the pain, but I just felt a little poke. It just felt like something cold going down my spine. It didn't hurt. Everybody's different, but it didn't hurt for me. But I did squeeze on the pillow. That helped me. That really did help me. The nurse that was with me, she was really, really nice. I think she knows my YouTube, so if you're watching, I appreciate you. I'm not sure what her name was, but I did tell her that I had a YouTube channel, so she's watching. But yeah, so he did take half an hour to give me the epidural. So he was just telling me that there was a button next to me that I could press that gives me more medicine for the epidural in case it wears off or whatever. Yeah, he was just explaining to me and stuff. So then they made me lay back down and he just started touching my legs and telling me if I could feel them. And literally I was so numb, like I felt like I didn't have legs. I was like, where did my legs go? Like, what the hell? But yeah, I did not feel nothing. I was really freaking numb and stuff. He told me I couldn't get up no more, and if I needed to use the bathroom, a bladder catheter, I think that's what it's called. Basically, it just collects your pee or whatever because you can't get up no more to pee. When you're getting the epidural, you can't move at all. You gotta be very still or else you can't stay paralyzed. I didn't move. Alright, so later on, not sure what time it was, but later on, the epidural helped me a lot. I would go to sleep and stuff, like I would try to rest and stuff so I could go by faster. Yeah, I could only ice and drink water while in labor. It sucks, but yeah, that's the only thing you could eat and drink. So yeah, later on that night, they would just come and check on me, see how many centimeters I was dilated and all that stuff. Kept asking me if I needed stuff. So later on that night, the epidural stopped working. I don't know why. I just started feeling everything. So they called the guy and he was busy, so we had to wait until he was like not busy. So just imagine, I was in pain for like I don't know how long, but man, that was the worst thing ever. Like I was trying to fight the contractions so bad. It just hurt very bad, which do not fight your contractions, okay? Just breathe in and breathe out, because when you fight them, it's just worse, okay? But yeah, just let them go by. that's some advice I could give you. I waited until he came, and then he came and there was no more medicine in the bag, so that's why I stopped working. So he just refilled the bag with medicine for the epidural or whatever, with medicine, and they checked if, you know, if everything was good and stuff. So yeah, the epidural started working again and everything was great, you know. So yeah, they made sure everything was plugged in and stuff, make sure everything was right. I would just keep pressing the medicine, like I would just keep pressing the button for more freaking medicine. That's why I was numb like the whole time, like when I had medicine there, and that's why I kept running out. But the epidural did make me throw up. It made me throw up a couple times, like 2 or 3 times, but they made me stop eating ice and drinking water because they didn't want me to throw up. They didn't want me to throw up while I was pushing or whatever. So yeah, I had to stop eating that. Then yeah, so when you have the epidural, you don't feel the contractions, but you do feel pressure like on the bottom, like near your private area and your stomach. So you do feel just like pressure, but it doesn't really hurt. Later on, it got to the point where I could feel the contractions even with the epidural. Like they were that freaking strong. I was still numb, but I could feel them now. Like shit was getting real, and I was like, oh shoot, like the contractions were like every 5 minutes and they were so freaking strong. So yeah, they couldn't give me medicine no more because it was just a lot of medicine and stuff, so that I was just dealing with it. So it got to the point where I was trying to find my contraction. So I started to need oxygen because Janessa's heartbeat was gonna go down if I didn't get some oxygen, because I was trying to fight the contractions really freaking bad. So yeah, they gave me a mask and they connected me to this little machine or whatever. I don't know what it's called, the oxygen thing. For some reason I just couldn't have that mask on. Like it was so uncomfortable, and I was trying to fight the contractions so bad that I was like suffocating myself in that mask, like if that makes sense. But yeah, the nurses kept on coming in and telling me that I needed to keep it on because they could see the monitor in their lobby, so they kept like seeing that her heartbeat kept like was going down. So they kept coming in and she would get me in trouble and stuff because every time that she would come in I would put it on, but every time she would leave I would take it off because I don't know, I just couldn't have it on. Like it was so uncomfortable. But yeah, if you pay attention to the vlog, that's why when she was born she did need oxygen or whatever because she wasn't breathing as she should. So later on I was still feeling the contractions or whatever, and so I was getting a little numb, but I could still feel them like a lot. So later on, like at 4 o'clock, about to be 5 o'clock in the morning, they came and checked me and I was 10 centimeters dilated already. They gave me like a ball to put between my legs, like a yoga ball, so the baby's head could come down. So that's what they did. So yeah, they put that between my legs, and that happened. I threw up again, so they had to change all my sheets and stuff. It was the worst thing ever because like I couldn't get up, and like I had to like just move side to side while they were changing my sheets. But yeah, I threw up. 10 minutes later I felt like just pain in my legs. Like I felt like they were bruised. Like that's how I felt. Like I just felt pressure and stuff, which usually if you don't have the epidural they refer to it as like it feels like you need to go number 2, but I didn't feel that because I had the epidural. So yeah, I just felt like pressure, like pain in my legs. I kept telling my mom like, I think it's time for me to push. Like I didn't feel the urge to push because I had the epidural, but I felt that, and I was like, I think I need to try to push because I feel pain in my legs and I wasn't feeling this. And my mom was just like, no, I think it's too early, like just wait a little bit more. And I was like, no, like I need to push. And I called the nurse through the little button that we had, this little phone, and she came and she checked me, and Janessa was already down and she was ready for me to start pushing. They let the doctor know and they got all the nurses in position. Unfortunately, my doctor had a family emergency, so she had to go to San Jose to an emergency, so she couldn't deliver my baby. So another doctor had to deliver my baby, but I loved him so much and he was so nice and patient with me. So my mom and sister did like they did spend the night with me that day. I remember they spent the night on this little, just one little freaking couch right there. Yeah, we, you know, thugged it through the night and stuff. So yeah, my sister was asleep, but she said she was hearing everything. But yeah, my mom woke her up. She, what is it called? She was holding on to one of my legs and the nurse was holding on to the other leg. My mom didn't want to hold the leg because like I said, she gets nervous when those things like happen. And if you would have seen my mom, like my mom was super nervous. Like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, but she was super nervous and scared. She was just walking up and down, drinking water, trying to drink empty bottles, like there was no water in them. Like, that's how nervous she was. Like, she was just trying to drink anything. She was just scared and stuff for me. But yeah, we started doing pre-pushes and for a little bit, and then I don't know if it was just me, but during labor I wasn't even nervous during my whole labor, like, or scared. I was just like worried because nobody ever taught me how to push. Like, nobody told me like how to push. Like, that's what I was like, you know, concerned about. But your body knows what it's doing, and it comes naturally. You literally, it's naturally, like your body just pushes for you. Like, it's crazy, but you do gotta do it. But like, your body knows what it's doing, if you know what I'm saying. So the doctor was like doing the countdowns, and he was telling me, you know, when to push. But for some reason I didn't feel the need to push when I got a contraction, or when he was counting. Like, I just, you know, felt the need to push whenever I wanted to. So yeah, he just told me to push when I, you know, needed to. And I didn't feel like when I was pushing, so I didn't even know like if she was there yet or like coming. Like, I did not feel nothing. So when I was pushing, he just told me to hold my breath in and then let my breath go when I was pushing, and that did help me a lot. You want to give, when you push, you want to give it your all, and you will be done quick. I did last like 30 minutes or 20 minutes pushing, and I was having a hard time pushing, so the doctor did have to help me and use the vacuum to get her out. That's why if you noticed when she's born, she has like this weird head, you know, shape. But yeah, it goes away after a few hours after birth. But I just remember when I was pushing, I was getting so impatient. I was just like, I can't do this. I was crying. I kept asking them, is she here yet? Can you see her head? Like, it was funny and stuff. Now that I remember, but I just kept like being hella loud, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, is she here yet or what? Like, can you see her? Yeah, when it got to the part where you could see her hair, the doctor got my hand and like I felt her hair or whatever. And when I felt her hair, I was just like, okay, I need to get my baby out. I want to meet her. And I just started pushing harder. She came along. So she was born at 4:20 in the morning, and when she was born, she was sunny side up, but we didn't know that until she was born. But thankfully everything came out good, and you know, nothing bad happened while I was in labor. But yeah, that's how it went. So they weighed her, and she was 7 pounds and 9 ounces and 21 inches long. Yeah, that's how much, you know, she weighed. And I didn't feel when she came out. Like, I didn't know that she was out. Like, I just had my head closed, and like they told me I was done. I mean, my head, I just had my eyes closed, and they told me that she was out. I didn't feel when she came out at all. That's just how like it went. I didn't feel when she came out. So my mom was the one that was gonna cut the cord, but my mom was so nervous and stuff, but she did end up cutting the cord. But my mom was super freaking nervous and scared. Like, I was just like, oh my god. Yeah, I didn't get to hold her right away after they cleaned her up because she did need oxygen, so they had to give her some oxygen. And then when they gave her some oxygen and gave her a diaper and all of that, they gave her to me. But before they gave her to me, they did have her on the little thing. They put her on the thing, the little, I don't know what it's called, but when they're born, I didn't push my placenta out. I thought that I was gonna have to push it out, but I didn't push it out. I felt my placenta come out more. Like, I felt it more than when the baby came out. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, I did feel the placenta when it came out, but I didn't feel the baby when she came out. But yeah, I did have a 2nd-degree tear and I did have to get stitches. Did not feel the stitches. I did hear when like I was getting stitched or whatever, but I didn't feel the stitches. So yeah, they put her on the little thing, they gave her a diaper, they swaddled her, and then they gave her to me. So yeah, they gave me Janessa, and I was just having my time with her. And then a little while after, they did ask me if I want to breastfeed her already. So yeah, I did start breastfeeding her. She latched on right away, and I was just there for a couple minutes. And then after that, they did have to give her shots. So they did give her shots. They did give her that one shot that they ask you if you want your baby to get. She did get that shot when she was born. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, she got all the shots that she needed to get. And then they did her fingerprints. They just did what they needed to do and stuff. Later on that morning, like around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, they did move me to like a recovery room. I was still numb and stuff, so I had to like kind of get carried on the wheelchair. But yeah, I did get on the wheelchair. They took us over there. I pressed the button, the music that plays when the baby's born. And yeah, we just went to the other room. We got settled in. I was really numb for a long time. My sister did go home after a while because she hadn't been home, Yeah, she had missed work 2 days. But yeah, she did go home and get her rest because she didn't even sleep comfortable that night. So it was just my mom and me. Yeah, I was really numb. I had to get help to go to the bathroom, and I had to get help to get up and stuff. But yeah, after a while it did go away. So now that I'm home and stuff after 5 months, I don't feel like nothing has changed, to be honest. I don't regret getting the epidural. I'm actually really thankful that I did, and glad that I did get the epidural, because it really helped me a lot. I know everybody has their own decision and stuff, but me personally, if I have a kid again, then I'm definitely getting that again, because I know every delivery is not the same, but if it's gonna be like that, then I'm gonna get it again. Yeah, it is painful and stuff, but it's worth it, and it's only gonna be until your baby comes. But yeah, that does conclude today's video, which was my labor and delivery story time. So if you enjoyed, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Turn your post notifications on if you haven't already, and comment if you want to. Tell me how yours went. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Cause you took the best of me without even asking me. I can't fool myself, can't mess around with my own mind. My position's been the same for a long time.